So being able to make that resonate throughout ourselves is really important. So when executives come to me and say, I'm stuck, I have this really amazing resume. I've run multiple companies, I've had multiple exits, I'm worth more than I ever dreamt I would be. I'm stuck and I don't know what's next. The conversation we have is, it starts with something like, have you written your vision? And when they say, yeah, I kind of have it in my head, and I let them wander for a little, and I say, but have you written it down? They say, no, I haven't. And then I challenge them about whether or not they're super clear on it, because they've just wandered for the first 20 minutes of the conversation about what they want next. And it's clear they don't know. Once they write it down, beautiful things happen. But there's a process.
How much are you writing down? Like what,
so there's a process that we take everyone through who's willing to do this. And it really starts with a template that I'll send to them. And sometimes that's just a test. Are you willing to do the work? Are you, really? And what that does is it gets the emotional juices flowing. And sometimes I'll say, before you touch the template, I'm going to give you the template so you know where you're going. I want you to go get a spiral-bound notebook at Staples for $2. And I want you to carry that thing with you every day, every moment of every day, and write down questions that are coming to you. Who am I becoming? What does that look like? I want you to diagram. I want you to scribble. I want you to...
So, who am I becoming?
Who am I becoming?
And what else?
Who am I becoming? What does it look like?
Who am I becoming? What does it look like?
That's right.
Who am I becoming? What does it look like?
Yes.
And that is currently what's happening in this moment, or who am I becoming? What does it look like I'm thinking 5, 10 years, 20 years down the road? What are they supposed to write down?
Yes. So I usually give them a 3 to 5 year timeline to be able to think about what am I going to actually be doing in 3 years, in 5 years. If they can wrap their head around that, that really is the meat of what we need to talk about. So first it's getting all that down on paper, first in a notebook and full of just scribbles, and it's just for them. The other thing that I encourage them to use is something, it's auto recognition. Essentially, you're asking yourself, what is the answer to this question? And you sleep on it. And the cool thing is when you wake up, sometimes in the twinkling, you're kind of coming out of the twilight of sleep, and that answer comes to you in a heartbeat. Or it's 2 a.m. I don't know if that's happened to you before. You're grabbing your pen.
So you're asking them same questions, and then see what shows up at 2 a.m. or first thing I'm waking up. Again, go back to the notebook, write down, who am I becoming?
Yes.
And what else?
Who am I becoming?
Who am I becoming?
And what am I up to?
And what am I up to?
Yes.
Who am I becoming and what am I up to? Okay.
Yes. And so once they get through those 2 weeks, they've done a lot of marinating and thinking on about that, so that when they get to the template, which is a much more structured way to get to this, they're ready. And I encourage them to go take a Saturday morning, or maybe it's an hour or 2, but block the time, because you need to have an end of it, or otherwise it's tough to really block the time, and it's tough because it'll run over, or you'll go short, or you'll say I can't do it, and it'll get put off and put off.
For this worksheet that you've got specifically, with a bunch of questions that guides this process.
That's right.
Now, is it part of what Wendy Young said? Like, we're going back to this Wendy Young. I'm not
exactly
going to let this die.
Wendy Young.
Really?
Yes. So she's just said, you need to get really specific. You need to get to this narrative. What I've found between my conversation with Wendy, my experience, and then coaching others through the process, is that if I don't help them see, hear, taste, smell, experience this vision, it's really hard for them to get their hands around it. So often, executives they're drivers. They don't want to stop and wait and feel. They just want to get it done. So this is a really tough shift for a lot of folks. And if I don't take them through a structured process, what happens is it falls down. And I tell them, this is like taking out the trash, guys. It doesn't get any better unless you decide to do it.
Yes.
And it's going to get smellier and stinkier and bigger. Take care of it. Once they do, it's like they feel cleansed, really. Yeah. The best part is that you have this litmus test. So if someone's throwing a lot of money at you for some big job, but it doesn't really pass the litmus test of, am I with my kids as much as I want? Yeah. Right? It's global travel. That sounds really exciting.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not if you're going to be away from your kids during their most formative years. That's not part of what you set out to do.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Or that's going to require a lot of extra.
Or you might want global travel because you're single.
It could be.
Sounds very exciting.
It
and
could
it's like,
be.
yes,
It might be
let's
exactly.
do some global travel for a while
right.
and live in multiple countries.
That's right. And I'm going to learn multiple languages because that's on my bucket list of things I want to do.
You just never know what it is until you go through the work.
That's right.
And discover the identity and the beliefs that we have and the convictions.
That's right. Exactly right. And once you have that lined up, it's really easy to say no or yes to that big offer.
Wow.
Because it lines up with what you want. So often I talk to guys who will say, yeah, that one was a mistake.